Many game publishers have poisoned today's video game market with their corporate fuckery. Free-to-play elements in AAA games, rushing unfinished games, or selling small DLC content at enormous prices. These are just some of the sins modern game publishers commit every day. This is not going to be a very popular list, but whenever you criticize someone, there are going to be some unhappy people. I have no personal grudge against any of these companies, and in the future their improvement is possible, and I'm rooting for them to improve. However, looking at recent history, these 5 would be the worst of the worst. The very top of corporate madness. Here lie these 5 publishers. The worst 5 publishers in recent video game history. At number 5 lies a publisher that everyone loved couple years back. They made good games, they were nice to their community, and they were one of the good guys in video game media. However, that changed over the recent years. I'm talking about 2K Interactive today. A publisher known for many great franchises like Bioshock, Sid Meier's Civilization, and Borderlands. So let's start with some of their worst sins. One of them will be releasing a highly anticipated sequel to the groundbreaking Mafia 2 unfinished. Mafia 3 was a repetitive mess with some embarrassing aspects, like mirrors not working properly, and the worst day and night cycle ever seen in a video game. But that is just one game, right? I can't make them bad guys from just that. Well, luckily 2K have become a symbol of corporate greed with Evolve. The amount of DLC content that should have been included for free, combined with a very repetitive formula that comes with Evolve, distance almost all its players from it. It had to go free to play a year later to save itself from perishing. A proof of 2K not learning their lesson is seen in the latest NBA 2K game. Microtransactions are all present, which led the game to the incredible, mostly negative rating on Steam. I'm not seeing the end of 2K's greedy ways, but I'm hoping they continue making great games without rushing them or filling them with their corporate shite. The next company on the list is one with a logo shaped like a turd, which symbolically represents some of the corporate fuckery they brought to the gaming industry. You guessed it, it's Ubisoft, a company that lacked vision for the last few years, accumulating the market with too many games from the same franchises like Assassin's Creed and Far Cry. They've managed to wear out those franchises, and they've also managed to tire the world of open world games, with a repetitive formula for it. But that's not really a sin, is it? Well, apart from releasing unfinished and buggy messes like Assassin's Creed Unity, forcing people to use Uplay while having worse servers than EA, and forcing the peer-to-peer connection into games like For Honor, while on top of it all committing the same sins most of today's developers commit, well, they're fine as publishers go, yeah. Out of all companies on this list, Ubisoft is actually one I don't dislike that much, because they're trying to improve, I think. They're finally taking their time with games, releasing Assassin's Creed Origins 2 years later after Syndicate, and it seems to me that they gained the vision they managed to lose years back. Making of Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle was a bold move. We need more creative stuff like it, and if they can provide more quality games with less corporate bullshit, I'll be happy to praise them to the heavens. Next up is a company now hated by almost all Metal Gear fans. The disrespectful, money-milking, lying corporate masterpiece of a company, the one and only Konami. While I'm writing this script, I've just heard the news that Metal Gear Survive single player is going to be always online. How wonderful! It just shows how clueless Konami is, forcing paying customers to be always online while games are being cracked in a day really shows how much they care about their customers. Of course, Metal Gear Survive is probably not going to be incredibly good since they banished Kojima to the Shadow Realm, but alright, let's give them a chance. They've been subject to some controversy a while ago, with reports of them treating their employees like prisoners. They've managed to disappoint their fans over and over again. Cancelling PT and rushing Phantom Pain are just some of the disappointments. Phantom Pain was good, yes, but if it was up to Kojima, it would be longer and even better. Konami's restricting abusive behavior mixed with one of the worst cases of greedophilia, a disease I just came up with, makes them the third worst publisher today. The company I'm going to be talking about now is one I despise the most. It always invents new ways to make me angry at it. And with Shadow of War's lootbox system and its grindy nature, it managed to disappoint me again. It's Warner Bros. Interactive, everybody! Shadow of War was the game I was excited the most for this year. After seeing the gameplay trailer, I just kept watching it over and over again. And then they revealed their corporate intentions with it, and my hype level fell from 100 to a 0 very quickly. While I'll admit I really like what they've done with the Nemesis system, I'm just left with frustration that it could have been so much more. The fact that you can get orcs in some stupid boxes genuinely offends me, because I want to feel every orc being unique, randomly generated. The best way to experience this game would be the pirated version for me, because it erases all of its online features that I despise. This is the first time we're seeing a lootbox system in a single player game, so we can call this a test. If they succeed, they could ruin single player games forever with their slimy intentions. This is not their one and only sin, of course. Releasing Arkham Knight full of bugs and their fighting games having connection problems and server issues on Steam over and over again are just some of the famous issues. I truly despise them as a company, and I'm hoping they change their ways sooner rather than later. And on top of the shit pile, we have the company awarded the award for the worst company in America twice. The company that people relate to bad servers, ruining developers, and just being utter garbage. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Electronic Arts. Their newest developer victim is Visceral, makers of Dead Space. And that's just one of many. Just to name a few: Maxis, Mythic, Black Box Games, Pandemic, Bullfrog, etc. Which studio's next? BioWare? Let's hope that doesn't happen, but EA already managed to spoil BioWare. And that can be seen looking at their newest game, Mass Effect Andromeda. Andromeda was a major disappointment for me. Unlike other Mass Effect games, this game is just boring. Story is dull, and characters are one-dimensional. EA's vision of open world is just rubbish. I have to admit that I bought more games from EA than from any other publisher, and that's just one of the reasons I'm so frustrated with them. They used to make great games. They still make good games, but all of them are flooded with corporate bullshit. And I just don't see any improvement from them in the future. Hopefully, I'm wrong. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like and please leave a comment about your thoughts of today's gaming industry. I want to know your opinion, if you agree with me or not. Subscribe if you didn't already, and I'll see ya in the next video.